This is a machine system that helps secure logs or timber onto a truck, so they don't move or fall off while the truck is driving. Normally, when someone loads logs onto a truck, the driver has to manually throw chains or straps over the load, and then tighten them by hand. But that's hard, slow, and can be dangerous, especially in cold or slippery conditions. This machine does that job automatically using hydraulics. It has metal stakes and arms on the truck bed that tighten around the timber once it's loaded. The driver doesn't have to leave the cab. They can press a button on a remote control or screen to lock down the load. Hydraulic arms move into position and lock together over the timber. The system applies pressure to hold the logs in place. As the truck drives, the system keeps checking if the logs are still tight. If the timber settles or shifts, it can automatically tighten again. No human needed. As other features we see is that when there's no load, the stakes can fold down to reduce wind resistance and wear. The system can switch to a fast mode to move parts quickly when it's empty, and it connects to the truck's onboard system, so the driver gets warnings if anything is off, like low oil or pressure drop. We like it. And a flatbed trailer, transporting various types of cargo with options to tip to either the left or right side, which helps when unloading materials in tighter areas or alongside a road. It also has removable sidewalls of about 31 inches high that be taken off if you're hauling large or wide items, or left on to hold in loose materials like soil or sand. The trailer is built with a steel or steel aluminum frame, often treated to handle long-term use on the road. It typically comes in different size options. The total weight it can carry depends on the model, but it's usually somewhere between 5,950 and 7,700 pounds. When empty, the trailer itself might weigh around 1,760 pounds. It uses either a hydraulic or mechanical system to operate the tipping function, and it includes tie-down points to secure loads during transport. Braking is usually handled by an overrun brake system, which is common in heavier trailers. Depending on the version, there may be optional add-ons like loading ramps or extended lighting systems. I don't know how familiar you guys are with it, but fuel theft is a real thing. So if you're here looking for tips on how to steal fuel from a vehicle, protect yourself from fuel theft, then here's a video for that. This device is made from strong metal, steel, or tough aluminum that fits right into the fuel tank opening and uses a special valve that lets fuel go in when refueling, but stops it from coming back out. Since it doesn't use any electronics, there's nothing to hack or break down. It works with fast flow fuel nozzles, up to 120 liters per minute, and has features inside that help keep fuel from spilling while filling up. It also comes with tamper-resistant screws, and if needed, tracking tags for extra security. Installing it is quick and doesn't require any major tools or changes to the tank. Normally, thieves often use hoses or try to tamper with caps or fuel lines, but this device blocks those tricks. It doesn't allow fuel to be removed, but regular refueling still works without a problem. Because there are no moving parts or electronics, there's nothing to service or maintain. It keeps working without any extra effort. Seems especially helpful in places where fuel theft happens often and can cost a lot of money. I don't know guys, but instead of relying on alarms or tracking systems that act after theft has happened, this one promises to stop it from happening in the first place. As an addition, companies that install it report big drops in fuel loss, often over 90%. And here's an extra piece of equipment that connects to a regular diesel truck to help it run partly on electricity. How it works? Follow me. Normally, a truck has a front part, called the tractor, that pulls the trailer, right? This one adds a middle unit between the truck and the trailer, and that middle unit has its own electric motor and battery. When it's attached, it helps push the truck forward using electric power. That means the diesel engine doesn't have to work as hard, so it uses a lot less fuel. So the unit has its own motor and large battery of 525 kilowatt hours that gives it an electric-only range of up to 235 miles, and it helps power the truck while reducing how much diesel it needs to burn. There's also a bigger version with an 800 kilowatt hour battery is also on the way. What makes this unit extra different is that you don't have to stop and charge it. When the battery runs low, the whole unit can be swapped out at a station in about 4 or 5 minutes. That's much faster than waiting for a charge. The truck keeps running with far less fuel, and drivers don't lose time on the road. Using it doesn't require any changes to the truck or trailer. It connects using the same fifth wheel system truckers already use. Once attached, it provides extra drive power through its own axle. The diesel engine stays on but doesn't have to work as hard. This means less fuel is used and emissions go down too. And this is a lowboy trailer is built to carry some serious weight, large and heavy equipment such as construction machinery, all up to 55 tons or about 110,000 pounds. As a long and wide piece of equipment, it measures around 57 feet in length and 8 feet across. It's made with high-strength T1 steel, using 16-inch beams and side rails, plus solid cross members spaced about a foot apart. The deck is usually hardwood, though you can get it in composite too if needed. Most models come with 3 fixed axles and a 4th one that flips down or up depending on how much weight you're hauling. This flip axle helps spread the load, or shorten the trailer when you're not carrying something heavy. Each axle can support about 25,000 pounds, and they're spaced either 54 or 60 inches apart. The air ride suspension and large brakes help the trailer stay stable on the road. Tires are heavy duty, and they're mounted on aluminum rims. The trailer uses a hydraulic system to control the flip axle. Some models include a small Honda gas motor to power that system, or you can hook it up to the towing vehicle with a simple connection. Other useful features include built-in LED lights, removable supports on the side, labeled air hoses for easy troubleshooting, and an adjustable ride height system. The whole thing is finished with a tough powder coating to help it stand up to the elements. At higher speeds, trailers face significant air resistance due to their flat rear surfaces, which create a vacuum-like effect that pulls back on the vehicle. But here's something to address that. Looking at a fully automatic system that addresses this issue by deploying aerodynamic flaps at the rear of box-style and refrigerated trailers. These flaps open when the vehicle reaches around 37 miles per hour and retract below 34 miles per hour. This function happens without driver input, allowing the system to operate only when it's beneficial. When active, the flaps reduce the size and intensity of the air wake trailing behind the trailer. This adjustment lowers the trailer's aerodynamic drag coefficient by about 9%. In controlled and fleet-based real-world testing across more than 2.5 million miles, this change resulted in a fuel saving of approximately 1.5 to 1.8 liters per 100 kilometers. In ideal conditions, that number can rise to around 2 liters per 100 kilometers. The system folds flat when not in use, allowing the trailer to retain its original profile during loading, maneuvering, or intermodal transport. This keeps the trailer compatible with standard parking and docking operations. It also avoids interfering with existing hardware or structure at the back of the trailer. Right after, fitted with 4 axles rated at 12 tons each and a tare weight of around 30,600 pounds, this low-bed semi-trailer is engineered for transporting large and heavy machinery. Its main deck measures approximately 29 feet in length, with a telescopic extension offering an additional 16 feet. The load surface is made of hard exotic wood, about 2 inches thick, supported by a steel frame. Rear hydraulic ramps, powered by a 24-volt supply from the tractor, measure 13 feet when fully extended and fold in 2 sections. 8 anchoring points rated for 16 tons each are positioned along the frame to secure heavy cargo during transport. The trailer is equipped with a pneumatic braking system, incorporating electronic braking and a roll stability system. The brakes are drum type with dual chamber actuators. The first axle lifts automatically when not needed, reducing resistance on longer hauls. The third and fourth axles steer independently with pneumatic locks, allowing tighter navigation in restricted spaces and reducing tire wear. Able to operate with 2 or 3 axle tractors, the configuration offers flexibility for various towing setups. The low height of the deck allows the transport of tall equipment without exceeding height regulations. The extendable frame and rear section accommodate long or oversized loads such as excavators or construction modules. Hydraulic ramps remove the need for additional loading gear, especially when handling tracked or wheeled equipment. Safety systems are integrated into the trailer's core, aligned with modern transport standards. Each design element contributes to practical performance, supporting demanding operations that require dependable mechanical solutions. Now, JOST KKS is a system that reduces trailer connection time by up to 50%, helps avoid human error, and makes the life of drivers much more easy. Normally, this job takes time and effort, cause drivers usually have to get out of the cab, plug in air and electrical cables by hand, crank the landing legs, and manually lock the fifth wheel. The driver stays in the cab and uses a remote control to lock the fifth wheel, connect the trailer's air and electrical lines, and raise or lower the trailer legs. The system uses sensors to check if everything is connected correctly. At the center of the system is the KKS 42 fifth wheel, which is a 2-inch cast steel coupling. It's based on JOST's proven JSK series technology. The system can be installed at different heights, starting from 5 inches above the truck's mounting plate. Under the trailer, there's a special connector that links air, electric, and ABS/EBS systems automatically. This connector works with future setups too. There are at least 3 sensors built into the system. These check that the kingpin is engaged, the trailer plate is in contact, and the fifth wheel is fully locked. The remote control gives feedback from these sensors and lets the driver control everything from the cab. There's also an optional Lubitronic system that keeps the fifth wheel greased automatically, either through 1 or 5 lubrication points. Modern trucks are now using a new type of mirror system that replaces traditional side mirrors with cameras and screens. This technology is designed to improve what the driver can see, especially along the sides of the truck where blind spots are common. Instead of 2 large mirrors mounted on each side of the truck, this system uses 5 cameras placed on the outside of the vehicle. Inside the cab, 4 monitors display live video from these cameras, giving the driver a clear and wide view of the area around the truck. The system provides a field of view of about 110 degrees, much wider than the 20 degrees offered by standard mirrors. The cameras are heated and include self-cleaning features, which help keep the view clear in rain, snow, or nighttime driving. This is a specialized semi-trailer made to transport large vehicles such as trucks, buses, and vans. It is commonly used in recovery operations or heavy vehicle transport. The trailer comes in versions with either 2 or 3 axles and can carry up to 54,000 pounds. A standout element of it is an extendable frame that can be lengthened by up to 9 feet, allowing it to handle vehicles of different sizes. It also includes a central platform that can lift up to 20 tons using a hydraulic system, which helps move heavy loads on the trailer itself. For loading and unloading, it has hydraulic ramps at both the rear and the neck of the trailer. These ramps make it easier to load vehicles from different angles or heights. 2 hydraulic winches are included, one in the front that can pull up to 10 tons, and one in the rear that handles up to 5 tons. The braking system uses drum brakes, and the trailer can be equipped with self-steering axles for better movement, especially in tight spaces. The 3-axle version supports different tire sizes depending on the task. The trailer's hydraulics are powered by the towing truck, and many of its functions can be operated remotely, including the ramps and lifting platform. A compact sleeping cabin made for commercial trucks, starting with models like the DAFLF, and able to fit well without blocking or changing anything on the roof that comes from the factory. It sits on top of the truck's cabin and connects directly without changing the original roof setup. There are 3 height options, so it can fit different types of vehicles, and it can be painted to match the truck's color if needed. Inside, it offers a full-width mattress that's about 3 inches thick, covered in soft velour fabric. There are 2 tilting windows with a dark graphite tint, built-in lights, and 2 vents to keep air flowing. The cabin also includes storage areas, a hatch that connects to the driver's cabin, a 12-volt outlet, heating vents, and a spot to install an antenna. Optional features include a roof that can slide open, a heater, side window deflectors, TV mount, and extra lighting attachments. One of the key parts of the design is how it handles airflow. The cabin's smooth shape helps reduce drag, which can help with fuel use, especially on long drives. Even though it adds some height and weight to the truck, it doesn't affect handling too much because it's not overly heavy and is mounted carefully. The inside of the cabin is insulated to help keep it comfortable in different weather. It gives drivers a quiet place to rest without needing to stop at a hotel or find a separate space, with proper airflow, lighting, and privacy. This seat is designed for people who spend long hours driving large trucks, buses, or off-road vehicles. It provides a range of options to help people sit in the way that feels best for their body. The cushion is about 21 inches wide on the mid-back version and 20 inches on the tall back. And there's also a wider 23-inch version for those who need more room. The seat height can be adjusted depending on the setup, with low and standard base options. The backrest leans back up to 45 degrees, and the seat slides forward or backward up to 7 inches to help drivers find the right position. One of the features we find a standout is its air suspension system. This setup helps absorb movement and vibration from the road, making the ride feel smoother. It includes a lockout option, and it keeps the seatbelt in the correct position, even when the seat moves. The seatbelt anchor points shift along with the seat thanks to a special feature called the ICP bar, which helps avoid that loose or tight feeling during motion. To help with back support, the seat has a triple air lumbar system that can be adjusted in 4 ways. This lets drivers fine-tune the pressure on their upper and lower back, and even control the tilt and depth of the support. The seat cushion also has a 3-position extension feature, which makes it easier for drivers of all heights to get comfortable. The headrest can be adjusted or removed depending on what works best. This is a heavy-duty towing and recovery tool made for people who need serious power without buying a full wrecker truck. Though the unit itself weighs about 2,300 pounds, it can lift up to 20,000 pounds and tow up to 40,000 pounds. When fully extended, it stands 72 inches tall and measures 124 inches long. This unit comes with everything needed to get started, including a 12-volt hydraulic pump, a stand to hold it up when it's not in use, tie-down chains, work and warning lights, a solar battery tender, and a wired remote for control. One of the key things about it is that this unit detachable, meaning you can take it on and off the truck as needed, and when it's not being used for towing, the truck can be used for something else. We tried it, so to remove it, you simply park, lower the lift, unplug the hydraulic and electric lines, and take out the mounting pins. The stand keeps it steady after it's taken off, and the whole process can be done fairly quickly. This saves time and money, especially for smaller operations that can't keep a truck tied up with one job all day. The unit fits most trucks with at least a 180-inch wheelbase and a standard frame width. Some trucks might need added weight to stay balanced when the unit is attached. Looking at hydraulic lift strong enough to handle loads of 3,000 pounds, which is more than what most standard lift gates can manage. It is made for trucks that need to lift heavy loads many times a day. Therefore, you just load items onto a platform at ground level, press a button, and the platform lifts the load up to the level of the truck bed so it can be moved inside. The platforms come in several sizes: 36, 42, 48, and 55 inches deep, with an extra sloped section at the end to help with loading. For trucks that are 96 inches wide, the platform can stretch up to 89 inches across. Depending on the model, it works with bed heights from 32 to 54 inches, giving it a wide range of fit for different trucks. Instead of sliding parts that wear out quickly, this lift gate uses hardened steel rollers with sealed ball bearings that move along a track. This makes the lift more stable and better suited for heavy, frequent use. It runs on a leaf chain drive system that holds up well under daily pressure and helps everything stay lined up properly. The lifting power comes from a single hydraulic cylinder. This system is protected inside the gate frame to help prevent damage. It includes a pressure valve to avoid lifting too much weight and special valves to control how fast the platform lowers. On the electrical side, there's a simple switch that turns off automatically after 90 seconds if left alone. The wiring is made to handle extreme temperatures, and there's a waterproof resettable circuit breaker that protects the system from power surges. Next, a dump trailer hauling heavy debris and materials from demolition or construction sites. This trailer comes in several sizes: 30, 45, 60, and 75 yards. So there's a version that fits different needs. Its walls are tall too, with the rear end reaching up to 8 feet. One of the largest models, the 75-yard trailer, can carry up to 30 tons. The frame is built using thick, high-strength steel, so it holds up well under pressure. The floor is made from steel that's a 1/4 inch thick and reinforced with extra bracing to handle heavy materials. Its sidewalls are also reinforced with steel tubing and angled supports, which help the trailer stay strong and steady when fully loaded. To handle all that weight, the trailer rides on 2 heavy-duty axles, each one able to support up to 25,000 pounds. The brakes are full air brakes with a safety system built in to help keep everything under control. The tires are heavy truck grade and mounted on solid steel rims. The suspension setup varies depending on the model, but it's designed to keep the trailer steady, especially when it's fully loaded. The trailer uses a hydraulic lift system that can tilt it up to about 45 degrees, which helps dump out the load. It also comes with a connection setup called a wet line kit to power the hydraulic system. Some versions of the trailer have a lower deck, which allows for more space inside and better stability on the road. This hydraulic bunk moving system is built into the aluminum and steel bunk frames and lets the operator slide the bunk back and forth along rails. This movement is powered by a hydraulic system, which can either have its own motor and pump or connect to the truck's existing crane hydraulics. The operator can control the movement from the cab or from outside the truck, depending on how the system is set up. The parts that move, like the rails and sliders, are made from treated metal to handle daily use and exposure to dirt and weather. Whether the bunks are empty or carrying a full load of timber, the system makes them shift smoothly and safely. That means it's useful during transport, when adjustments might be needed to balance the weight, or at unloading sites where positioning matters. It works with Alucar's logging truck bodies and can be installed when the truck is built, or, in some cases, added to trucks that are already on the road. It's especially useful when carrying 2 timber bundles around 16 feet long, since the system allows them to be placed side by moving the bunks as needed. Instead of using a crane or chain to push the bunk into place, the driver can simply use the hydraulic system to slide it. This makes the job easier and also helps protect the bunk frame from damage over time. Up next, our spotlight is a mobile system that helps disinfect vehicles quickly and improperly. It sprays from all sides, including underneath, without needing to be permanently installed. Its frame is made from square aluminum tubes and is folding and swiveling. There's no need for cranes or special tools. The arch is wide and tall enough, about 13 feet wide and 15 feet high, to let large vehicles pass through. It also includes ramps with built-in nozzles that spray the underside of vehicles as they drive over. At the heart of the system is a strong stainless steel pump that moves up to 200 liters of liquid per minute. It's powered by a 230-volt motor and comes with hoses and connectors already included. A separate dosing pump mixes the disinfectant with water at just the right ratio. This pot can handle anywhere from 10 to 2,500 liters per hour and lets you set up either batch or timed spraying. The liquid comes from a 1,000-liter tank that has a float system to refill itself and a hose to draw the solution into the pump. Once a vehicle enters the arch, built-in sensors detect it and start the spray automatically. The spray reaches the top, sides, wheels, and undercarriage. The system is designed to work best when vehicles move through at around 1.5 miles per hour, delivering about 0.4 liters of disinfectant per square meter. This system is especially useful in situations like disease outbreaks on farms or at animal transport sites, where disinfecting vehicles quickly is critical. What we see in this video is a refrigerated trailer that runs instead of using a diesel generator. It creates electricity while driving, a cleaner option for transporting goods that needs to stay cold. A special axle turns the trailer's motion into energy once it reaches around 9 miles per hour. That energy is stored in a battery, which powers the refrigeration unit. One battery version can run the cooling for about 7 hours, and there's a larger one that lasts up to 10. On top of that, solar panels on the roof add extra energy during the day, up to around 12 kilowatt hours. It supports heavy loads, up to about 92,000 pounds in total. The trailer itself weighs around 15,000 pounds, depending on the version. Inside, the loading space is long and wide enough for standard freight, and the insulated walls help keep temperature stable, even when transporting frozen items. The trailer's body is made with strong materials that help keep the inside cold and meet strict food transport standards. There's also an optional system that lets operators monitor things like temperature, location, and if the doors are open. The battery can be charged not only while driving, but also when the trailer is parked, which helps with planning and energy use. How long the cooling system lasts will depend on the trip and how often the doors are opened. But overall, it offers a smart way to move chilled goods while cutting down on emissions and fuel use. This step and storage box is working with big semi-trucks, specifically Class 8 tractors. It works as both a step and a place to store tools or gear. The box is made from thick aluminum that's strong, but doesn't add too much weight to the truck. The latch and hinge are stainless steel, and there's a rubber-like seal around the lid to help keep out rain and dirt. One of the features that we liked about this product is its extra wide lid opening, which makes it much easier to reach in and grab what you need. There are several size options, depending on how much space you have and what you need to store. Widths range from 12 inches to 36 inches. One of the more common sizes is the 18-inch version, which measures roughly 18 inches wide, 28.5 inches deep, and 23 inches tall, and weighs about 47 pounds. Most of the boxes have a smooth aluminum finish, though the door design might vary a bit between models. Indeed, it fits a variety of truck brands, including Peterbilt, Kenworth, Freightliner, International, Volvo, Mack, Western Star, and you name it. So yes, we like it. and a powerful towing and recovery truck made to handle tough jobs without needing a massive multi-axle setup. It comes with a strong 25-ton boom that can lift up to 50,000 pounds when it's pulled in, and still. Its central feature is a 25-ton boom with a structural lifting capacity of 50,000 pounds when retracted at a 30-degree angle and 16,000 pounds at full extension. The boom reaches a height of 219 inches and operates at an angle of approximately 39 degrees. It comes equipped with dual 2-speed planetary winches, each capable of handling 25,000 pounds. The towing arm underneath, known as the underlift, extends in 3 stages using hydraulic systems that tilt and fold. It can lift around 35,000 pounds at a closer reach of 54 inches and about 16,000 pounds when fully extended to 128 inches. The truck itself can tow up to 80,000 pounds. Its body is made of aluminum and usually measures 96 inches across. Operators can control the unit from both sides of the truck. This trailer, first released in 2021, was made to help move timber over long distances or in areas where space and time are limited. What makes it stand out is its ability to fold. The back of the trailer folds over the front, cutting its length nearly in half. Therefore, from 46 feet, it folds to 23 feet long. This makes it easier to transport multiple trailers together, saving money and effort on return trips. It's made from strong, high-quality steel that keeps it tough while keeping the weight down. Depending on how it's set up, the trailer itself weighs between 12,800 and 13,600 pounds, and it can carry loads of up to 66,000 pounds. To keep things stable on the road, the trailer uses a tri-axle system with air suspension. This helps balance the load and makes the ride easier and tighter. It also has modern braking systems that meet safety rules, including electronic and anti-lock brakes. Folding and unfolding the trailer takes less than 5 minutes and can be done from inside the truck or from outside. Once folded, built-in locks keep everything in place during travel. An optional add-on made for certain types of curtain-sided trailers. It's a specially shaped storage box that fits at the rear or underneath the trailer. Its main function is to improve airflow while the trailer is moving, which helps reduce drag and can lead to better fuel efficiency. But, in addition to its aerodynamic purpose, it also provides storage space for things like spare wheels and load-securing tools. These items are usually mounted on the outside of the trailer, where they can disrupt the smooth flow of air. So by storing them inside the trailer keeps a cleaner profile, which supports fuel-saving performance. The unit is built to be as light as possible, so it doesn't take away from how much the trailer can carry. With dimensions up to 49.2 feet, around 97.6 inches widths, and up to 120 inches internal heights. Testing this installation has shown that when used together with an aerodynamic trailer body, it can help save up to 3% more fuel. This is a track system designed for large vehicles like trucks and trailers that need to drive through mud, sand, muskeg, snow, or clay. Instead of using regular tires, the vehicle runs on wide rubber tracks that help it move through soft or slippery terrain without sinking or losing grip. The tracks are made from heavy-duty conveyor belting that can handle up to 1,500 pounds of force, much stronger than standard truck tires. Each tread is 2.5 inches deep and made from solid polyurethane. This system is custom-built to fit each vehicle. It can be installed over single or dual tires, including tandem or triple axle setups. It's also made to be rebuildable. If the treads or parts wear out, they can be replaced without changing the full system. Installing the tracks takes about an hour, and they can be removed in just a few minutes. Once installed, the tracks add about 4 inches to the tire radius and roughly 3 inches to the width. You know, because the tracks are wide, they spread the weight of the vehicle over a larger area than regular tires. This helps reduce sinking and improves movement in places where tires usually get stuck. Besides internal bars inside the track, grip the tire and stop it from spinning inside the track while driving. Cool! In the following stage, this specially adapted truck helps people with mobility or hearing impairments learn how to drive heavy vehicles, like trucks. Now, people who were previously left out of this field can get real driving practice in a vehicle that meets their needs. It helps open up more job opportunities in transport and supports a sector that really needs more drivers. The truck is used for professional driver training in France and is approved for Category C CE licenses, which are needed to drive large vehicles. It's set up like a classroom on wheels, created for hands-on training in real driving conditions. The truck includes important features to make it easier for everyone to use. One analysis found that each crash involving a TMA saved an estimated $196,855 in crash costs, compared with a crash in the absence of a TMA device. A recent review identified that over 700 fatalities and nearly 37,000 injuries occur each year in temporary construction and maintenance work zones in the US. So, looking further at a truck-mounted attenuator installed at the rear of a heavy or medium-duty vehicle, made for use in active roadwork zones or during mobile operations such as line painting or sweeping. Its primary function is to absorb the energy from a rear-end collision and reduce the force transmitted to the work crew or equipment ahead. The system includes a crash cushion module engineered to deform upon impact. This controlled deformation dissipates kinetic energy, helping prevent severe damage or injury. Moving on to a smart feature built into its latest trucks, like the XD, XF, XG, XDC, and XFC models. These trucks use powerful Packer MX-11 and MX-13 engines, combined with an advanced automated gearbox called the. This setup includes special off-road software that helps the truck move through soft ground like mud, snow, or sand. Therefore, instead of the driver needing to shift gears and tap the throttle repeatedly to try and rock the truck out, this system takes care of it automatically. When the function is turned on, the truck gently rocks back and forth on its own, using small movements to build up enough force to break free and move ahead. The driver can activate Rock Free using a switch or menu on the dashboard, usually while also turning on the off-road mode. While it's running, the truck's usual gear shifting patterns are paused, focusing all efforts on regaining movement. It stays in a low gear, and other systems like traction control may ease off to allow a bit of spin, helpful when trying to get out of a sticky spot. Up next, a trailer system used in the logging industry. It's part of a larger vehicle combination, typically pulled by a truck, and comes in various sizes, ranging from about 62 feet to 120 feet, depending on the type of haul. The trailer itself is relatively light for its size, starting at around 17,400 pounds, which allows it to carry more logs within legal weight limits. As we can see, it has an adjustable log carrying system, which uses sliding supports or bolsters. These can be moved into different positions, so the trailer can handle both long and short logs without needing a different setup, and this change can be done in just a few minutes. The loading and unloading process is fast, usually taking about 90 seconds. Some versions include a built-in hydraulic system that allows it to work with a regular truck, even if that truck doesn't have special hydraulic gear. This built-in option adds only around 440 pounds to the trailer's weight. It also includes an onboard weighing system that uses air sensors to measure how much weight is being carried. The system is very accurate, often within 0.5%, and can be checked with a handheld device. To keep the load secure during transport, it uses an automatic tensioning system that keeps the straps tight while driving. Day by day, we're abandoning the physical mirrors, switching them with cameras. Here's another company to do that. The DAF Digital Vision System is a camera-based setup that replaces the usual side mirrors on new generation DAF trucks. Instead of bulky mirror arms sticking out from the sides, small cameras are mounted high up on the cab, right above the doors. These cameras do the job of both the main and wide-angle mirrors. Inside the cab, drivers see the camera feed on two screens, one 12-inch display on the driver's side and a slightly bigger 15-inch display on the co-driver's side. Both screens are clear and high resolution, and they're placed on the front pillars so the driver doesn't have to look far from the road. The system adjusts itself to different conditions. It brightens or dims the display depending on the light outside and has a built-in heater to stop the cameras from fogging up or freezing in cold weather. If the truck needs to squeeze through a tight space, the driver can fold the cameras in using a button on the door. Let's analyze together this safety system too. It is made for large vehicles like trucks and buses, and it helps the driver detect people or objects in the blind spot on the passenger side, especially when turning. This platform uses a combination of a radar sensor and a camera. The radar picks up movement near the vehicle, while the camera shows what's happening on a monitor inside the cab. If something is detected, like a cyclist or pedestrian, the system gives both a sound alert and a visual warning on the screen. The radar works at 24 GHz and is typically installed near the rear side area of the vehicle. The camera is mounted on the passenger side and looks into the blind zone. The reaction time is fast, usually under 300 milliseconds, so the driver gets alerted quickly. The camera runs on 24 volts of DC power, is about 2 inches in diameter, and weighs less than half a pound. The monitor connected to the system can accept power between 12 and 60 volts and measures about 7 by 4 inches. Both parts are sealed against dust and water to hold up in rough driving conditions, meeting high protection standards. Using an internal rack and pinion setup, this slide-out system operates by means of 2 vertical H-columns mounted into the vehicle's side wall. Each column contains an electric motor that drives gear racks along the top and bottom of the slide opening. The mechanism runs on 12-volt DC power, functioning within a range of approximately 8 to 18 volts, and requires a 30-amp circuit breaker along with 10 AIWG wiring. The system can extend a room section by up to 30 inches and support a moving section weighing up to 1,000 pounds, based on published specs for standard use. Accurate spacing between 2 3/8 and 2 5/8 inches between the gear racks and the H-columns is necessary to prevent misalignment. The controller board handles synchronization of the motors, extend and retract functions, and also provides diagnostic feedback using LED indicators. If power is unavailable, a manual override lets the room section be retracted or extended manually, though care must be taken to avoid gear damage during that process. In vehicles such as RVS and modified trucks, this mechanism allows part of the living space to move outward when parked, increasing usable room, without increasing the total width of the vehicle during travel. In truck applications, the system often includes structural upgrades to manage higher loads and variable road conditions. Flush integration into the wall helps reduce mechanical exposure and protects moving parts. Rubber seals and trim help block outside elements from entering the interior. The manufacturer produces over 150,000 of these systems annually, which contributes to strong availability of parts and technical information.